Immanuel Kant was a German philosopher who lived in the 18th century. He came up with big ideas about how we know things, what's right or wrong, and what makes something beautiful. In his critique of pure reason, he said that some ideas are already in our minds before we experience anything. It's like we have built-in tools for understanding the world. In ethics, Kant talked about the categorical imperative, a rule that everyone should follow because it just makes sense, no matter the situation. He believed in doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Kant also wrote about what makes something beautiful. In his critique of judgment, he had thoughts about art, nature, and why we find certain things pleasing. Overall, Kant's ideas made a big impact on philosophy and how we think about knowledge, morality, and beauty. Act only according to that maxim whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. Two things fill the mind with ever-increasing wonder and awe. The more often and the more intensely the mind of thought is drawn to them. The starry heavens above me and the moral law within me. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play. Dare to know. Have the courage to use your own intelligence. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. Morality is not properly the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. We are not reached by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. Thoughts without content are empty. Intuitions without concepts are blind. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. From such crooked wood as that which man is made of, nothing straight can be fashioned. The greatest human quest is to know what one must do in order to become a human being. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live. The more conscious we are of life. Nature is beautiful because it looks like art. Live your life as though your every act were to become a universal law. A categorical imperative would be one which represented an action as objectively necessary in itself, without reference to any other purpose. Immaturity is the incapacity to use one's intelligence without the guidance of another. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. The only thing that can be called good without qualification is a good will. It is not God's will merely that we should be happy, but that we should make ourselves happy. Happiness is not an ideal of reason, but of imagination. Even philosophers will praise war as ennobling mankind, forgetting the Greek who said, "War is bad in that it begets more evil than it kills." In law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so. To be is to do. Ingratitude is the essence of vileness. By a lie, a man annihilates his dignity as a man. Look closely, the beautiful may be small. All the interest of my reason, speculative as well as practical, combine in the three following questions. 1. What can I know? 2. What ought I to do? 3. What may I hope? Act as if the maxim of your action were to become through your will a be general natural law. I had to deny knowledge in order to make room for faith. Have patience a while. Slanders are not long-lived. Truth is the child of time. Ere long she shall appear to vindicate thee. Intuition and concepts constitute the elements of all our knowledge, so that neither concepts without an intuition in some way corresponding to them, nor intuition without concepts, can yield knowledge. Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. Seek not the favor of the multitude. It is seldom got by honest and lawful means, but seek the testimony of few, and number not voices, but weigh them. To be human is not merely to stand erect and manifest reason, but also to know and act in conformity with our moral duty. All thought must, directly or indirectly, by way of certain characters, relate ultimately to intuitions, and therefore, with us, to sensibility, because in no other way can an object be given to us. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play.